Okay, so we're going to start on the mat. So come to the end of your mat, sit yourself down, and then roll yourself back using your abdominals and get yourself into the relaxation position. Make sure you're sort of reasonably up towards the head end of the mat because we're going to do leg slides. But we'll take a moment or so just to think about our alignment, relaxing our body, bringing our focus onto our bodies. This next hour we can just have completely to ourselves, so trying not to let your mind wander. If it does, just bring it back into your body. So pelvis in neutral, placement of your feet such that they feel really flat but very light as well. So you haven't got any more weight going through your heel, they've got the same amount of weight going through the front of the foot, and your feet are neither turned in nor turned out. So just have that sense of just very light placement on the mat. No tension in your thighs, either at the back or the front, or your buttocks. Pelvis in neutral with just a very small connection with the pelvic floor and your lower abdominal, your transverse abdominal. Then that sense of lengthen your spine away from the pelvis, nice and open between the shoulder blades at the back, but also nice and open across the front of the shoulders. The rib cage is connected into the mat, so there's no arching in the back, so just dropping the rib cage gently onto the mat, neck lengthening away from the shoulders and relaxing and softening your face, especially your jaw. Arms gently lengthening by your side, but without creating any tension in your hands. And then a couple of deep breaths, getting your breath deeper than just your upper chest. Feeling your rib cage expanding out to the side, deep down into the rib cage, but still keeping nice and relaxed. So as you breathe in and increase your breath, don't tense up anywhere. And one more. So then we're going to combine our arm movements with our breath, with rib cage closure. So as you start to breathe in, bring your arms above your chest, and as you change to an out breath, you take your arms above your head, but still don't arch your back. Keep your arms straight and don't worry about trying to reach the floor. Just in line with your shoulders is good. When you breathe in, you bring your arms back above your chest. And breathing out, take your arms by your side, still keeping nice and open across the front of the shoulders. So we're just going to open up our breath a little bit more, but get some movement in the shoulder socket too. Breathing in and out. So the shoulders don't rise up, just isolate the arms. Have that sense of lengthening your arms above your head, finishing that out breath. Don't cut it short. Breathe in, nice deep in breath. And a full out breath. Let's do 3 more of these. Breathing in and breathing out. We're going to keep our arms above our head for a breath in and out. And again, another in and out. Stretching your arms away. And then on your next in-breath, bring your arms above your chest and breathe out to take them back by your side. So do the last 2 like that, holding your arms above your head to just allow all that fascia to gently open and release. Stretching your arms up without your shoulders coming towards your ears. Keeping the rib cage on the mat. And then breathe in to bring your arms up and breathe out to take your arms back by your side. And last one. So check that you're not subtly switching on any pockets of tension anywhere else. Buttocks are staying switched off, pelvis is staying The pelvic floor muscles are staying gently switched on, as is the lower abdominal. And finishing on an out breath with your arms back by your side. And now put your hands on your lower transverse abdominal on either side of the hip bones. So you're going to keep your pelvis in neutral. We're going to just do a couple of leg slides on each leg, and then we're going to combine the arm and the legs into Starfish. So have that vision of your donut, donut with lots of squidgy cream in it. So when you take one leg away, you're not going to transfer any weight into your other foot. So I'm going to have my imaginary donut under my left leg, and I'm going to slide my right leg away. Take a breath in, breathe out, engage the core. Don't let that pelvis move, and slide your foot very lightly along the mat, lengthening it without the pelvis coming with you. So have that sense of stretching your leg away, but the pelvis staying back in neutral. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, engage this core, slide the foot back, get the toes down when you can, keep the heel on the mat, and slowly draw your foot back into its position. Breathe in, breathe out, engage the core, don't put any weight through your right foot as you gently slide your left leg away. Stretching that leg, but without the pelvis coming with you, so there's no arching in your back. Breathe in and stretch the leg as much as you can. Breathe out, engage the core. Keep the heel very lightly on the mat. Get the toes down when you can. Keep the foot just flat and don't lift the heel at the end. Use the core to draw the leg back in. So we'll do one more on each side. Engage your core a split second before you move, so you're not having to transfer any weight to the other leg. Pelvis stays stock solid still. A little bit of juddering with your foot without a sock, stretching the leg away as you breathe in. Breathe out, pulling in the core. Get the toes down when you can, so the foot being flat as you draw back. Don't dig into the mat. Will strengthen that inner arch of your foot. Last time on the other side. Breathe in. Breathe out, engage the core. No movement in anywhere else in the body, just the leg that's sliding away. Keeping the pelvis back in neutral, using this transverse abdominal muscle. Breathing in here, breathing out, engaging that core and drawing the leg back. So there's much more to a simple leg slide than just sliding the leg away. This foot keeping flat as you draw back in is really important. So remember that when we do our ribcage closures, so our Starfish. So arms back by your side. You're going to do one leg and the opposite arm without losing neutral and all the shoulder scapular stability principles that we know about. So take a breath in, breathe out, engage the core, slide one leg away, start the arm and the leg at the same time. Keep the ribcage on the mat, don't arch the back. Stay here breathing in, stretching your fingertips and the opposite toes away from each other, and breathe out, engage the core, bring the foot and the leg back, and then your arm trying to end the movement at the same time. Take a breath in. Breathe out, engage the core first, swap over, opposite leg and opposite arm, sliding away, reaching the end positions at the same time. Stay here, breathing in, stretch the leg and the opposite arm away from each other. You're getting a gentle fascial stretch, not so much a muscular stretch, but a fascial stretch, trying to keep the knee also in line with the hip. Don't let the knee go in or out. So do two more on each side, alternating. I'll let you do it at your own pace, but think about all those principles of the leg slide, pelvis staying in neutral, arm going back as far as you can without your shoulder coming to your ear, without you lifting your ribs off the mat. And do the movements on the out breath, pausing on the in breath, either to get the stretch or to prepare yourself when you're starting from the relaxation position. It's just a nice gentle way of opening out the body, but you can still use the core, use the principles of Pilates. each side. So the legs staying in line with their respective hips. Alignment is really important for the body, and on this particular exercise, very important for the knees. Great, so let's now go into a spine curl. We'll just wake up the lower back a little bit before we do, just with a couple of pelvic curls. Remember, not using the buttocks, just using your core. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, engage your core and just curl your pelvis around. I'll have my arms off the mat, so if you were watching this, you can see that my lower back is now imprinted into the mat. Stay here, take a breath in. Use this in-breath to make an extra connection with your pelvic floor and your lower abdominal, and then come back to neutral. You don't have to have your arms up here. It's just that if you're watching, you can see what's happening. It's such a subtle movement. It's not very obvious. Take a breath in. Breathe out just the core. Curl the pelvis around. Don't use the buttocks. Pull in the pelvic floor as much as you can. And see if you can get a bit more of a curl without any tension being created. Hold this on an in-breath, making an extra connection with your core muscles, and then come back to neutral. So we'll go into the spine curl. You can either have your arms by your side, or if you want, you can have your arms above your chest. Take a breath in, breathe out. Start with your nice pelvic curl, just like you've been doing. Then curl the pelvis off one vertebra at a time, keeping the knees hip width apart, keeping your feet flat. Coming up to the tips of the shoulder blades, using the buttocks once the pelvis is off the mat. Stay here, take a breath in. As you breathe out, lengthen your spine away from the shoulders and the neck, one vertebra at a time, keeping your spine in the center, lengthening your lower back, your pelvis and your buttocks away, so you get your lower back into the mat, and then you come back to neutral. Don't go beyond neutral. Take a breath in here. Breathe out, engaging the core to that lovely deep pelvic curl. And then curl the pelvis off. At this point, you start using your buttocks. You're always lengthening away from the neck, so you're never putting any compression in towards the neck. When you get to the top of the pelvis, go a tiny bit higher using your buttocks, not lifting the ribs, just lengthening the pelvis away. And then let's take our arms a little bit behind our head. Keep the pelvis level. Take a breath in and come out on the out breath using all your abdominals, pressing one vertebra into the mat, creating space before the next vertebra comes down, not missing out your lower back. Come back to neutral, and then either bring your arms by your side or back above your chest. I'm going to hold on to my hands here. I just quite like it. Take a breath in. Breathe out, do your nice pelvic curl. Lengthening away as much as you can. Then take your arms behind your head. And then coming out of your spine curl, lengthening away from your shoulders. So there's a lot of work to get that lower back into the mat. Really work hard, back to neutral, and your arms back to their starting position. Let's do one more. So make sure you're not lifting sections of your pelvis. You're not on one side of your spine. Breathe in, breathe out. Lengthening your spine onto the mat as you come back down. back to neutral, and then now bring your arms all the way back by your side. So that's a really nice way of loosening up the spine. So we're now going to wake ourselves up a little bit more with the hundreds. So if you want to use your light weights, then do so. And we've always done 50, 2 sets of 50, but we're going to do 1 set of 60 this time, and then the other set of 50. So it will be more than 100, but I just want to challenge you a little bit more. So the first set will be 60. So when you're ready, come into your double knee fold using your core, no movement in the pelvis. Bring your knees and your ankles together, and your feet are just softly pointed. So I'll leave it up to you how far you extend the legs. Higher is easier, lower is more challenging. Don't have any feeling of discomfort in the lower back, no arching. Arms by your side. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, curl yourself up, lengthen your arms and extend the legs. And breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 20. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 30. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 40. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 50. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 60. Bend your knees in, curl yourself back down, and hug your knees into your chest. I hope that was okay for you, and then we'll go back and we will do 50. So get your knees back above the hips, still keep those knees together and the ankles, and that helps when you've got them extended. It keeps you more stable. Arms by your side, take a breath in. Breathe out, curl yourself up, lengthen, raise your arms and extend the legs. And breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 20, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 30, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 40, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 50. Bend your knees in, curl yourself back down, and hug your knees into your chest. Let's do some little circles around the back of our pelvis. Get right to the outside rim of the pelvis. Keep the knees together. Do a few in one direction and a few in the other. And then while we're here, let's do some nice hip circles. So take the knees apart, circle around, back together, and back up to your body. Take them away from each other. So the circle is a thigh bone stirring in the hip socket. As you take the legs away, use your core so you're not arching the back. You're just taking the legs away. Let's do one more circle in this direction. It feels really nice on the hips. And then we'll reverse. So take the knees away, then take them apart as wide as you can get them, back up towards you and back together. And let's do a few like this. So keep your thighs relaxed. Just get a nice stirring movement in your hip socket. And let's do one more. And then hug your knees into you, and then use your core, come out of your double knee fold. So let's do a little bit of core, specific core work. So get your stability ball, your mini stability ball, if you're using that. If not, then just being on the mat is fine. So I always think it's better to put the ball when you're lying down, not trying to get it and then from sitting and then getting onto it. So just take a moment to get it in the right place. You don't want to feel there's any vulnerability in your lower back. And remember, it slightly tilts your pelvis, so just tuck your pelvis around a little bit and work from the core. So you can either have your arms by your side or one arm around your waist and building up to both arms around your waist. And then when you're ready, come into your double knee fold. So have the feet softly pointed, the knees above the hips. using the core, and we're going to do our leg to the ceiling and lower. So breathe in, sorry, I've got a croak. Point your foot up to the ceiling and then lower the leg towards the floor. I'm just going to have to cough, sorry. And then bring your leg back up to the ceiling and back into a knee fold. Breathe in, point that foot up to the ceiling, get that lovely stretch behind the knee. Lower the leg. So you only need to lower it a few inches, or if you want to lower it lower, that's fine, but don't let the pelvis come out of neutral. Bring the leg up straight if you can. If that's too difficult, then just bend the knee back into its knee fold position. So we're going to do 10 in total. So it'll be end up with 5 on each side. Don't do 5 on one side, 5 on the other. Do them alternate, and then you're constantly having to readjust yourself rather than finding a particular position and staying there. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed, just really working from a strong core. Really pull your core muscles in. If you've got your arms wrapped around your waist, you can also feel your side muscles working, your lateral muscles. So the core keeps the pelvis in neutral when you lower the leg, and it core draws the leg back up when you bring it back up. And one more on each side. And then back to your starting position. So we'll now do, instead of the legs going up to the ceiling, lengthening the legs away from you. So lengthen away, draw back in. Again, you can either lengthen higher and draw back in, or you lengthen lower, which is more challenging, and draw back in. So again, we'll do 10 of these. That's make sure the other knee stays above the hip. And one more on each side. Draw back in, and then come out of your double knee fold. And take the ball away. Well done. So we'll continue with our abdominal work, but we'll get a bit more movement in the spine, and we'll do the roll up. So if you can manage to roll yourself up from lying, then do so. If not, come onto your side and start from sitting. So we'll roll ourselves up. While we're up here, let's give a nice stretch over our legs. So we're going to give ourselves a stretch over our legs after each one, and we're going to do 6 of these. So we'll get 6 stretches through the back of the legs and into the hips. So for each one, start sitting nice and tall. You can just keep your hands low. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you bring your arms up a little bit more. And if you want a real challenge, go back with your hands by the temples. Don't come up with your hands by the temples. Just keep your hands at a level that you can come up using your abdominals. So take a breath in, breathe out, tuck your pelvis under. Now you might not want to roll the whole way back. Just go back to a point that you know you can come up without using your shoulders. Don't create any momentum, just nice and smoothly. When you're back on your sit bones, sit tall, and then lengthen your body over your legs. And then restack your spine and just continue at your own pace. So sometimes you might find that you can do the first couple where you roll the whole way down and come up nice and easily, and then you just can't do it after that. So then don't go so far back or have your hands lower. Sorry, there's another jet going over, sir. There we go. So it doesn't matter if you don't come up very quickly, just use your abdominals. Okay, 3 more. Nice stretch. Couple more. Last one. And then sitting tall to finish. Good, well done. So let's come on to our side and we'll do the side leg exercises. So get your little head cushion, fold it in half, and place between your underneath arm and your ear. So you can either be in the chair position here or start with your legs straight and then hinge from the hip creases to bring your legs forward at 45 degrees. This hip doesn't roll back. Keep this top hip facing forward. Keep everything pulled in and get to your starting position with the top leg in line with the spine at hip height. Lengthen away through the heel to keep a nice long body. Keep that leg lengthened away as you bring it up. Get to the top and then a tiny bit more and keep it lengthened away as you take it back to the hip height. So we'll do 8 of these. Lengthening away, get to the top and a touch more. Lengthening away to bring it back down in line with the hip. And up. And back to the hip. So just go at your own pace. But get to the top and keep reaching away through the heel. That's when you'll start to feel it in the buttock. But no arching in the back. Keep your tummy pulled in. Keep a nice long body so you're not collapsing into the mat with your underneath part of the waist. And I'll do 2 more. Make sure you haven't rolled the top hip back. And then back to hip height. So point the foot. Keep this top hip forward, but take the leg behind you. Gosh, they're very busy at Cooldo's this morning. And then down to the mat and up to hip height. down and up. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now keep the leg behind you and just do some really little circles. Let's do 10 in each direction. Sorry, I've got a quick again. But keep the body still. Isolate this leg and then reverse. So use your core to keep your body stable. Just move this top leg. And then let's do bigger circles. So now it's like you're going around a football. Go more behind the body than in front. And scoop the mat on the underneath part of that ball. Let's do 5 in each direction. Again, the upper body doesn't move. 4, 5, and then reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now bend this top knee onto the mat and lengthen your underneath leg away. Take the leg just off the mat, lengthening it off the mat. Turn the knee up so it's going towards the ceiling. And then using your inner thigh muscles, bring your leg up. So the upper inner thighs squeeze. We'll do 8 with the foot pointed and 8 with the foot flexed. So keep the leg as straight as you can. Don't bend it. And you're using all the muscles from the inside of the knee all the way up the inside thigh. 6, do 8 of each. 7 and 8. You're not transferring any weight to your top knee. When you change to a flexed foot, make sure the knee is still turned up slightly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then come into a side chair position. Let's do our side quad stretch. Knee up to the chest. Reach the front of your ankle and take the knee away from you. Don't arch the back. Tummy in, hips forward. Just lengthen the bent knee away from your hip and pelvis. You're aiming for a straight line through the front of the thigh and the front of the body. If it's particularly tight and it doesn't go the whole way back, just do what you can and then release it. But as you take it further back, you're not arching your back. The back doesn't come into it at all. It's just the leg. Keeping the leg at hip height, so not up here or not down there. You'll get a different stretch if it's above the hip, but we can work that muscle another time. Let's get this quad all the way through the knee as well. And then release. Okay, come on to the other side. And get into your starting position. Make sure this top hip is facing forward. Take the top leg in line with the hip. And the spine, lengthen away through the heel, lifting this bottom waist off the mat. And then lengthen the leg up, get to the top and a tiny bit more, and back to hip height. And as you take the leg a little bit further, you're not dropping this underneath waist into the mat. You're still stretching your upper leg away from you. 2. Up and a bit more. 3. Keep this top hip facing forward. 4, 5, 6, 7, and last one, up, 8. Good. So back to hip height and point the foot. Keep this top hip forward as you take the leg behind you. And then down to the mat and up to hip height. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then with the leg behind you, do little circles. And then reverse those little circles. And then do bigger circles, scooping the mat or the floor on the underneath part of this imaginary football. It's difficult if your foot's just off the mat, but do 5 in each direction, just isolating this leg, upper body not moving. Going as far behind you as you can, and then reverse. 3, 4, and 5. And then bending the knee on the mat. Take your underneath leg roughly in line with the spine. It's not so critical. Lengthen the leg just off the mat. Turn the knee up towards the ceiling. And then squeeze those upper inner thighs by using your inner thigh muscles to lengthen and lift the leg up as much as you can without transferring weight to your top knee. So do 8 with the foot pointed and 8 with the foot flexed. It doesn't matter which order, but try and keep the legs straight. 6, 7. Really want to get those upper inner thighs to squeeze. 8. And then change to a flexed foot, knees staying up towards the ceiling. Legs staying straight. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then into chair position, side chair position for our side quad stretch. So try and bring the knee right up to the chest rather than grabbing your ankle out to the side and twisting the hip. Lengthening the bent knee away from you, tummy in, hips forward, so I'm not compromising my back. And breathe into this. Couple more breaths here, lengthening that bent knee away from you. And release. Good, so come up onto sitting. We're going to do a wide leg sitting stretch. So if you want to sit on your yoga block, then do that. Whatever, if you're sitting on the mat or on the block, make sure you're right on your sit bones. We're going to have the legs wide, feet softly pointed, so we're opening out the inside thighs, sitting nice and tall. And then walk your hands back in the center. So the stretch is from the lower back, and then put one hand on each leg where you can comfortably reach, and then using your hands on the leg, draw your body down towards the floor. Keep straight behind the knee and stretch from the lower back. And breathe into your back here for a couple of breaths. And then put your hands back together in the center. So I'll go the same way as you, so it'll be the opposite leg. So rotating through your waist, walk your hands over to your left leg, hold on to wherever you can reach, and lengthening from the lower back, draw your body down towards your left leg. So you want to keep your arms parallel. So your right arm will have to travel a bit further to be parallel with the left, which helps you get that nice stretch in the right side of your body. Breathe into your right side here. Keep straight behind the left knee. And now walk your hands back to the center and over towards your right leg. So keep the left hip down, hold on to the right leg wherever you can comfortably reach, and lengthen your body over your right leg. And we breathe and relax into this for a few breaths. And then walk your hands back to the center, rotating through the waist back over your left. First of all, we draw our body down over our leg. So each time, if you want to take your legs just even like a couple of millimeters further apart, then you're getting a slightly stronger stretch. And now put the outside of your left elbow on the inside of your left knee, so the back of your forearm is as near to parallel with that inside leg as possible, and bring your right arm over the top of your head. So keep your shoulders open. Try not to roll them down, because we'll do that when we do the other bit of the stretch. So for this bit of the stretch, you want to have your shoulders open. You're reaching your right arm over your head, drawing the bottom of your ribcage away from the pelvis on the right-hand side. And breathing into that side to get a really nice stretch. And now we rotate back over this leg. And then walk your hands back to the center, over towards your right leg. Remember to keep your arms parallel, so your left arm will have to travel a bit further, lengthening from the lower back to bring your body over your right leg. And now the outside of your elbow on the inside of your knee on the right side, and then bring your left arm over the top of your head. So the shoulder doesn't come up towards your ear, you're just lifting, using your arm to lift the bottom rib away from the pelvis and the hip bone. Getting that lovely stretch in the left hip, left waist. Breathing into this for a few breaths. And then again rotating over the left leg, drawing down for a breath. And let's do one more on each side. So hopefully by now you start to feel that you're not quite so tight, you're going a tiny bit further. So just lengthening the body over your left leg to begin with. Always breathing into it, don't hold your breath. And then the outside of your elbow on the inside of your knee. And your right arm over the top of your head. Lengthening and breathing into the right side of your body. Once more rotating over your left leg and lengthening your body down towards your leg. And then last time, walking your hands back over your right leg. And lengthening your body over to begin with. And then the outside of your elbow on the inside of your knee. And bring this arm up and over. And last time, rotating over your leg. Breathing into this. Stretching, keeping straight behind the right knee. And now walk your hands back to the center, and again take one hand onto each leg, and hopefully you've noticed that you've opened up a tiny bit, and then draw your body back into the center. Keep straight behind the knee, keep the legs turned out. You get that nice stretch on the inner thigh. And hands back in the center, and walk your hands back up to sitting nice and tall. So now come over onto your front. We're going to do the Cobra, which we have done recently, but I think we're just going to do it for a few weeks, then you can start to really notice how you're opening up in the back. So remember, you're using the muscles between the shoulder blades to bring your chest away from the mat. Make sure you don't have your chest up towards your throat. Have your legs wider than your hips, toes away from each other, heels towards each other, but not using your buttocks. Feel nice and open across the front of the shoulders are away from your ear. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, engage your core but not your buttocks. Roll your imaginary marble away and off the mat so you get this little curve in your neck. Now use the muscles from the base of the neck working down between the shoulders to lift your chest away. When you want to transfer a bit of weight into your hands, but don't let the shoulders close in. Always lengthening away from the lower back, always staying up for a full breath in and out, even a couple of breaths to allow the body to adapt to this position. And as you come back down, lengthening from the pelvis and the lower back, get the elbows down when you can, so you're starting to use your back muscles as soon as possible, ending with the neck and the head. So we're going to do 5 more. Just go at your own pace and your own level. Just keep the core engaged, keep the buttocks switched off. Only use the muscles between the shoulder blades to lift away. And you're still using those same muscles when you just transfer weight into your hand. You're not pushing off with your hand. You're just using your hands as a point of contact. Staying up, lengthening through the front of the body, all the way from the pubic bone up the front of the spine, front of the neck. Lengthening as you come back down. One vertebra at a time. So even if you just get your chest off a little bit, try just transferring a little bit of weight into your hand. Don't force anything, but if you can't come up very high, then just do what you can, but stay there maybe for an extra breath or so, just to allow the muscles to adapt to that position. Keep the hip bones on the mat. You're not lifting the hip bones in any way. That's your point of stability. You're just lengthening away from there. So you shouldn't have any discomfort in your lower back. Keep nice and open across the shoulders. Don't bring the shoulders to your ears. I'm going to do 2 more. Using the back muscles to lift away as long as possible before I transfer weight into my hands. Lengthening from my lower back, stretching, breathing, scooping in my tummy, and I come back down as well as when I go back up. And last one. So if you feel that your back has had enough, you can come into your rest position or lie on your back and hug your knees into your chest. So coming into my rest position, knees wide, feet together, arms long, dropping my heels, bottom back towards my heels. Couple of nice deep breaths into my back here. And then as long as your knees allow sitting on your bottom to restack your spine, or if your knees are uncomfortable with that, then come into high kneeling. And from here, let's come to standing. So we're going to do the roll downs and then we'll do the giraffe. So with the roll downs, you want to keep your feet hip width apart. Let's just take a moment to get yourself into good standing posture. So breathe in, lengthen through your spine. Breathe out, roll your neck down. Then your upper back. Keep the weight through the center of your feet. Keep your head hanging nice and relaxed. You don't need to bring your shoulders together or up towards your ears. Just rolling down as far as you feel comfortable and staying here for a couple of breaths while you breathe into your back. Make sure the knees don't turn in towards each other. Keep your weight centered evenly on both your legs and then hold on behind your leg And then flatten out your back a bit more, bringing your body towards your legs. And then let the arms hang down. Keep the head nice and heavy and hanging, scooping in your core, coming up from the pelvis. At no point are you using your shoulders to come up, just the pelvis. So let's do a couple more like that. We'll add some extra hamstring stretches, breathing in to lengthen through your spine. So try not to clench the buttocks here, but use your core. Keep your weight through the center of your foot. Breathing into your back. Do a flat back stretch. And now come up just enough to let your arms off the mat. Keep your head nice and heavy. And let's do some arm circles here. So this movement is initiated from your upper arm, not just your wrist. You can do little circles and then bigger circles. And then you can also change the direction. Just let your arms hang. Keep your body still and just isolate your arms. That lovely feeling that they almost go into their own inertia. And then you can still your arms and scoop in your core. Work from the pelvis, shoulders away from your ears. Roll yourself back up. Breathing in to lengthen through your spine. Rolling down. We'll add a couple more things on this next one. So just going down as far as you can, feeling nice and grounded through your heels, lengthening your buttocks away from the heels. Breathing into your back. Doing a flat back stretch. Keep straight behind those knees. Then let your arms hang. Let's do a couple of neck rotations. So looking over one way, back to the center. You haven't come up at all out of your roll down. You're still as roll down as you can make it. Just isolate the neck. We'll do 3 each side. Turning as far as you can one way. And then as far as you can the other way. Let's do one more on each side. And then bend your knees so you can get more of your hand on the mat than you can otherwise do. So we'll do our extra hamstring stretches. And keeping your hands in that new position, see how much you can straighten behind the knee. Just gently stretching and opening up behind the knee. Don't snap open. Let's do 5 of these. Stretch and then roll yourself up. Good, so let's come into the giraffe now. So have your legs wide, feet turned out. Make sure the pelvis is in neutral so you're not sticking out to your bottom. And then come forward, hinging from these hip creases with a flat back, and then it will come into a slightly rounded back as you bring yourself all the way down. So let's stay in the middle, hands just hanging in the middle, legs straight, feet pointed out. Get that nice gentle stretch on the inner thigh. Remember, the hips stay back where they are, the legs stay straight. You're only rotating through the waist. Again, I'll come the same side as you. So rotate over your left leg with your right arm coming across, and then bring your left arm up to the ceiling, shoulders away from the ears. You're just wrapping your rib cage around your spine, using the hand on your lower leg to get a nice rotation.
Then you bring that top arm down. We can get a good rotation from the first one on this one because we've done lots of stretching so far. And then you go the other side. So only hold on low down the leg if you feel really comfortable with it. If it's at all strenuous, then just hold higher up the leg by the knee or even up the thigh or just halfway down your shin. So don't force anything, otherwise you won't relax into this and the muscles won't release. So we'll do our usual 3 each side, each time getting a bit more of a rotation, trying to look towards your fingertips up to the ceiling to get as much movement in your neck as possible. So the hips stay back, you're not bringing your hips with you. Breathing into each stretch. And when you've done 3 each side, hang in the center for a few breaths. You can take your legs a bit wider if you feel comfortable to do so. And just relax into this. Let your arms hang down, your head hang. Breathing into your back. And then when you're ready to roll yourself up, heel toe your feet back to hip width apart. And then scooping in your core, roll yourself up. All the way to the top. Let's finish with just a couple of rising onto our toes with our arm circles, taking arms above the head. So I'm going to come forward just off the mat. So we'll just keep our breath nice and open, feet hip width apart. So breathing in, rise up, reaching your arms high. And then rolling down through the feet, keep the big toe grounded. And rolling your arms down too. When you've got your heels down, do a little squat, keeping those knees hip width apart. Breathing in, rise up. Breathing out, roll down. One more with the arms going in this direction. Breathing in, nice big breath. And then rolling down, taking your arms out to the side. And then let's reverse the arm circle. As the arms come up, the shoulders stay down. So testing our balance and stretching out the body at the same time. It's very energizing, this movement, I think. And one more. Stretch and then roll down. Last little squat stretch of the calves and straighten the legs. So that's this morning's workout. Thank you very much.